Hello everybody, this is Graham, also known as the Collector 75. Welcome to another Transformers Generation 2 review. These are a couple of favourites of mine. These are the Decepticon laser rods. And before I begin, I actually said I would do this for him. And I want to give a big shout out to a guy that loves his Generation 2 more than probably I do. I mean, I love Generation 2. But this guy really does. I mean, he has started to customise lots of his Generation 1 figures and give them the proper Generation 2 decos, like some of the unreleased figures and even just the concept ones with the concept art and everything. So I want to give a big shout. I'm going to put a link to his channel in the bottom of the video. And that is to Plasticon. Some great Generation 2. He's even got like the backgrounds, which I'm sure they use for the Generation 2 commercials. If it isn't, it certainly suits it down to the ground. It's got a great channel if you love your Generation 2. So anyway, back to these. Yeah, so these are a couple of favourites of mine. The Decepticon laser rods, or these were called Illuminators in Europe. Kind of prefer laser rods. Yeah, I mean, Illuminators was okay, but it just seemed a bit drab and a bit... You know, laser rods seemed in your face, and Illuminators just seemed not. I don't know, but there we go. So anyway, these were... I'm not going to go into their origins of the comics. The comics were pretty good. But these were just new figures, and these were some of the first figures to actually have ball joints and just great articulation. Now, they had their drawbacks, which we'll come to when we transform them, but they're just good. Now, obviously, these are like hot roddy type cars. I love them. Now, this guy doesn't particularly want to sit too well on the floor, but he does roll still pretty well. He's all right, and he's one of those sort of like fancy souped up hot rods. Same with this guy. And he rolls pretty well. I like this guy. Now, this guy was called JOLT in America, and over here, this guy was called Hot Rod, I believe. Yeah, I wasn't too keen on that. JOLT is a better name, and he has a better bio and a better motto. But anyway, but there we go. But that is his... Now, he has great chrome on those wheels. Look at that. That is pretty cool. I love the front there. Now, he did have a gimmick where you push this little button, tiny little button, and his little things would light up red. Unfortunately, the batteries on mine have given up the ghost. I've had these for years, and I've never changed the batteries, never even taken them out. So probably they are corroded to sin in there. But there we go. But it wasn't a great gimmick anyway, because you had to keep your finger on the button, and it's so tiny and so hard. You put it more than 5 seconds, and it's leaving a giant... Oh, I don't know if it's going to show up. Probably not. But it would leave an indentation on your finger and everything. Bloody annoying. Right, so let's transform this guy. See if I can remember this. We are going to take this out. We are going to start taking the legs out. Now, you have to be careful with this, because this figure came in, what, 93, 94? It's now 2017. So this guy's been about 23 years old. And there's a bit in this which is liable to break. I'll show you why in a moment. So anyway, so once you've done that, you can pull these arms out. And that is basically the transformation done. Bring that down to his back. You've got to rotate... Well, sorry, push this bit up. And then rotate... I can't remember which is the front now. I think that is the front. Definitely better as the front, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, there we go. That's all right. Don't have to worry about this one. Right, so then you put them down there. Oh, I love that. Those little exhaust bits there become little arm guns. Love that. And that is there, like so. Now, he has... I don't know if it's going to show to you well. Oh, look at that. It's nasty cracking. I don't know if it's going to show in there. Oh, that is bad cracking. I'm trying to get it so you can see it. There you go. You can see just in there. There's a rubber... basically elastic band holding this bit onto that bit. Now, these days you wouldn't have that. You would just have a straight ball joint, or you wouldn't even put nothing. It would just be a mushroom peg, because you do not need all of this articulation. It is corroded to hell. But I have a plan. When it does break, hopefully never, but when it does, you know those little white elastic bands that you get in the toys these days, holding them in and everything? I've got a load of them somewhere. I'm just going to use them. Wrap it around it, find some of the right size, or even a tiny little elastic band, you know. Won't last long, just buy a load of little ones and it'll be fine. But yeah, So that is one of their major drawbacks. It was just their way of trying to give it articulation. And then they've got those weird pins in here. These days, these would just be ball joints. But it was the early days of trying to give them more articulation. And to a point, these actually succeed so well. But unfortunately, because it's got that in it, it's so front heavy, and it's a bit old now, he sort of like does lean down. And he's got no heel spurs, really. So trying to get him to find a way of standing up and using that articulation can be a problem, other than just standing straight up, which is a bit silly. But he does come with this cool sword, which is basically a nice cleavy pirate sword. I love that. I love that. So anyway, so once you're happy with him, you can just hopefully stand him up and he'll be fine. Brilliant. And then we're going to come to this guy. This guy is called Sizzle, or he was in America. Over here, he was called Fireball. Both names are pretty cool. Sizzle is one of my favourites because obviously they've used that name before with the Sparkler mini bots and everything. So I sort of prefer Sizzle. Fireball's alright, it's not too bad. Again, I suppose we have a little gimmick where that engine would have lit up on there as long as you hold the button and everything, but it don't. Nice bit of chrome on the front there. That is pretty cool. Yeah, and I think that is about it actually. He's got his little sword that you can detach. Again, he's got the same problem. He does have a rubber band in there holding his waist together. Hopefully it'll still be intact for me to transform this guy. We're going to start now by opening this out, bringing these down. I'm not going to put too much pressure on that elastic band. You're going to rotate these around for the feet. Then we can bring these sections up, and they are going to form his arms, like so. Again, these days it used to be all ball joints. Oh yeah, one thing you could do, because the gimmick won't work on the other one, I forgot. You can take this little bit out here, which is the light, and then you can put it on the bottom of his hand, put the sword in, and it would light up the sword, hence why he has a clear sword. Anyway, right. So we can split legs, bring this whole section down. That just sort of like hangs around on the front. And again, you've just got to hope that he stands up, because he's just blocky as hell. He's got kibble going on left, right and centre. I can't remember. There's one of these that can collapse, I think is Electro, and that's why I broke him. But we'll come to that when I do the Autobot laser rods. Now, he does have some cool... Actually, I'm trying to get him out of the background there. He does have some cool light piping, but it's all clear. They should have used coloured light piping, and that would have been fantastic. Still, there we go. You can put his little sword in his hand, and he does look... I don't care what anyone says, he looks cool. He looks mean. I love these guys. It's a shame they're so old now. They will probably never be reissued, because they have that problem with the elastic band. That will just deteriorate over time, and have never been reissued or even used again. It's a shame, really, because they've used the laser cycles, but never these guys. I mean, I would love these guys to either be reissued, new versions of them, because they're a couple of my favourites from Generation 2. Just really, really good. And we'll bring them a bit closer here. There we go. They're just two great figures. And experimental for their time. And it showed that you could have transforming robots that just had great articulation and were so playable. So there you go. You can say what you want about Generation 2, but it started giving us better articulated robots, what we come to expect these days. So there you go. Right, this has been Graham, the Collector 75. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Also, you can comment. It's always nice to hear your comments. And you can support my channel using the little coffee link below. What else can we do? Don't forget to check out Plasticon, or Plasticon Studios. I can't remember exactly his name. It's definitely Plasticon, though. Yeah, you can check him out. But that's it for now. I shall see you all next time with my next Generation 2 review. I don't know which one I'm doing. I've got the Autobot laser rods to do. I've still got the Decepticon rotor force, and there's loads of other things I've got to do. I've got so many loft haul videos that I've done. I've got to do with all the videos. But there we go. But that's the beauty of it, you know. It's good just getting out your toys and just looking at them again. I love it. I've got so many. I mean, if I just touch my... You've probably seen these before. I've still got these guys to do. I still want to do them, and Past. Oh, that's my son's bloody money box. That's weird. That is. I've still got this guy, Baldigus or Valdigus, whatever his bloody name is. Still want to do him. But there we go. We'll get round to him in time, won't we? Right, this has been Grand the Collector 75. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.